Hello, welcome. My name is Rochelle Allison. We're here in the Social Media for Real Estate Agents Success community. Welcome today. It's Tuesday, June 16th, and we're going live today talking about Instagram stories. So great to have you all here today. I see someone's here, so I love it if you would give me a hashtag live in the comments so I can see who's here. And throughout our stream today, please feel free to comment anything that resonates, share anything that you've done in your Instagram stories that you've had really great success with. I love hearing your own stories about stories. And also, if you're coming on for the replay, we always run the replay at a watch party, I should say, at 8:30 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday evening. So tonight at 8:30 p.m. I'll run it, and I will be here in the group. So if you're watching during the watch party, feel free to comment or add questions that you might have during that time. And any other time too. I watch the post throughout the week, and anybody who has comments or shares, happy to get that interaction. Love getting the interaction. And so if you're here live, give me a hashtag live. If you're for the replay, give me a hashtag replay. All right, thanks you guys. So great to have you here today. And I'm just gonna bounce over to my other screen. You get about 5 things going at once here when we do these live shows. So I'm also broadcasting live to my coaching business page, Rochelle Allison Coaching. And then I also upload this later to my YouTube account, Rochelle the Realtor Coach. So let's see, a little bit about me. Those of you who are new to the group, we keep getting new people that come into the group every week. So welcome to you, and all of you that keep coming back. Hello, and great to have you here today. And I'd like to just jump over to the other page here, and so I can see who is commenting and who is coming in here. So hold on 1 second while I bring it up and make sure I can see any comments that are coming up. Hello, Travis. Hi. Great to have you back. Okay, great. So I love talking about Instagram stories because it's really lines up with kind of who I am authentically. That's a big part of what I promote in my social media training is authentic, sharing authentically and being your authentic self on social media. And how you show up is how people will get a feel for what it's like to work with you. And it's so, the stories is just a really amazing way to be able to get those deeper connections on a personal level with people who are following you. They're not your current clients, but people who at some point might start to think about buying or selling or investing in real estate. And if they've been following you and seeing you in your Instagram stories, then you're going to be top of mind. And the stories is a great place to do that. So truth be told, there are a lot of people who only interact on Instagram in the stories. Like I did a poll once, very informal poll, not a huge number, but I've heard this from multiple sources as well, from other people that train in this area of social media, that there are a really good number of people that only look at the stories. And why is that? Who knows? Maybe it's because they just automatically switch. You know, you don't have to do the manually. You can, but you don't have to do the swiping. I don't know. Who knows? So, but it's kind of funny. So what we're going to cover today about Instagram stories is, let's see, there's 5 areas of stories that I want to talk about, different kinds of stories for you to do. And we're going to go through each of those. The key here is that throughout all of these stories, whether they're business related, and or personal, you're making those connections with people. So I'm going to weave that in as we go today. So the 5 types of stories that I'm going to talk about are, first is like a day in the life of you as a realtor, okay, working. The other one, the next one will be a, let's see, oh, here we go, there's my numbers. 2, showing that you're in demand, that people are working with you and that they are reaching out to you for different types of services or items of value. So showing that is like social proof is like what we like to call it. And then number 3 is showing how people can know, like, and trust you, and put your money where your mouth is, like where you're getting training, where you're doing education, where you're providing that for other people. And then the 4th way is, I'm going to go into detail for all of these, is hosting like a weekly mini training, showing up every week consistently, doing a mini training, and then finally sharing results and testimonials. So these are different types of stories that you can weave in each week, and they cover the different types of different areas of getting that know, like, and trust factor that is what we try to get across in our social media marketing. So let me go into a little bit of detail on each of these types, each of these areas. So the first one is the behind the scenes, and some of you might relate to it as like kind of a HGTV effect. So what you can do here is go behind the scenes of what it's like to work with you. So what could you do? Here's a couple of ideas. Like, let's say we're starting to get out into the community more now. Things are starting to open up, and maybe at some point you're going to be meeting someone in person. A lot of people are, or you could be doing it on Zoom, doing a consultation with buyers or sellers. So whether you're doing it in person or you're doing it on Zoom. As one example, if you're going out to meet someone in person, maybe you're meeting at a coffee shop. So from the point of, what coffee shop are you at, tagging them, tagging the drink that you're drinking, while you're waiting for your clients to show up for the meeting, maybe a picture of your packet of information that you have for them, or their home buyer guide or home seller guide that you have, take a picture of that, and those kinds of things. So, and then what kinds of things are you like working on while you're waiting for them to get there? All these different things. It's kind of like behind the scenes, that people don't see. And then within each of those types of pictures that you put in your stories, you could put some kind of stickers on there to get some reactions from people. So maybe you put your drink that you're drinking on there. Maybe it's tea, maybe it's coffee, maybe it's a chai. And so you put your drink, and then you could ask the question, do you drink more tea, sweet tea in the summer? Do you like sweet tea? Yes or no? Any kind of question, just to get interaction from people. That is key, and I'm going to come back to that later, why that interaction and people interacting on your stories is so important. So that's one example. Maybe you're doing a Zoom call with sellers, potential sellers, and so you take a picture of like you in the Zoom. Maybe before you get your clients on there, they may or may not want to be part of your story, but maybe you get on early into the Zoom, you take a picture, getting ready for my Zoom consultation. Maybe you show how the guide that you have shows up on the screen. All these different things that you can do that are behind the scenes that show people what it's like to work with you. The key is that when you do this consistently, you show up in these different ways consistently, your stories become memorable. And that's the key. You want people to stop and look at your stories. They want to have show-stopping stories that people will interact with and remember. And we start to get these consistent themes. Maybe every week you do behind the scenes on Monday. I don't know. So this is, the behind the scenes is the first type of story. Okay, so what are you guys getting so far? And who else is here with us today? If you're coming on live, give you a live, hashtag live. Love to get your feedback. Are you guys going to be going out to meet with people at the office or in coffee shops? I know I went today to our local coffee shop, and they are now having there was nobody sitting down. It was kind of interesting. I think until people start to see that they can actually sit down now. There's nobody sitting down in there, but we did have spots. Like they had spots that were not open and other spots that were open, so it was socially distanced. So it's a very popular local coffee shop, and I'm sure that will start to fill up. It's I think as people start to know what's opening up, they'll probably start showing up. Hi, Laura. Good to have you here. All right, you guys. So let's go on to area number 2 of the stories today and how these stories lead to sales. They really do. They really do work. So number 2 is showing that you're in demand. People want to work with a successful agent, right? And sometimes you show that through the pictures in your stories. On Facebook, people would see when you post your pictures of clients at closings and whatnot. But there's little things along the way, not just the closing or the picture of the house. There's little things along the way that you can show that you're in demand. One of the things that I want to start teaching on more too and offering in my paid program is showing you how to do freebies or downloads. And these are a good way to increase your database with email addresses so that you can continue to market to people through email and keep in touch with them that way. So having a freebie, maybe you're offering something like your home, I call mine my home buyer guide, and just offering it and say, send me a message with your email address, I'll email it out to you. And once you if you do a big promotion with that, and then you send some out, maybe do a story like, hey, I sent 3 out already. Who else wants their free home buyer guide? So that's like social proof, which is so key. When people know that other people are doing something, then maybe they'll jump on the bandwagon. There's always people like that, right? So that social proof is really key in doing that. So you could do a story about that. Sent out 3 of these today. Who else wants theirs? Send me a DM. So or the other thing you could do too is questions that you might get in your emails or your direct messages, maybe as a result of a post that you did earlier or a story that you did. Questions that you might get, you could highlight that. You don't necessarily want to show the person's name, but if you take a snapshot of that question in that message, or just post the question and answer it, that shows more that people are asking questions, and then that kind of gives them, the people that are following you, permission to ask questions, more comfort level maybe, and seeing how you answered that question. Maybe they have a different question and they'll come forward with that. So that's number 2, is showing that you're in demand. People asking questions, people asking for things from you. You want to show that and show how that's happening. Okay, so let's see, number 3. The third one here for you today, and it is like this: put your money where your mouth is. So if you want people to trust you, and you want to show up in your stories and show how you can be trusted. So this might be that you are continuing to educate yourself and increase your knowledge and understanding of things. Recently we might have had some trainings about how to run your business in a pandemic. So you might be showing you on a video Like you could show this video right now, take a picture of this, and post that to your story and say, hey, I'm learning about using Instagram stories for my business. Just as a quick example, there's so many things that you do. We're all in, I don't know, here in our state, we're wrapping up our continuing education. And if you're doing that, post a picture of that, increasing your education, maybe what you're learning, share about that, and like that. So that's where you can just really take all these things that you're doing in your day that, and this piece specifically, like how you are becoming a better agent for your clients and more knowledgeable and better, even better to how you can represent your clients better. So maybe there's some other ones. Maybe you're learning about a new checklist for your processes. And so you can like highlight that in your story and show some of the things that you're adding to your process that shows that what great service that you provide. Maybe some of the things that you do is like provide the contact information for the utilities, change your utilities, provide options for moving vans, these things that could help. Maybe, everyone does these things, but when you're highlighting it and putting it out there to show people, you can demonstrate the level of service that you provide. And maybe you're learning about Facebook ads. Wouldn't you want sellers to know that you know how to do Facebook ads? You're doing a webinar or learning more about how to do Facebook ads. So that just all these examples that show that you're leveling up your expertise in the area of your business. A couple other good ones. There's so many podcasts out there. So maybe showing you, the podcast that's up on your screen and what you're learning from that. Maybe a little tidbit that you're learning. Or maybe there's always new features coming out in our MLS. I don't know about you. So maybe something about a new feature in the MLS and how that benefits them. It's always tied back to how this benefits your followers and working with you. Okay, how are you guys doing? How are you liking these ideas, getting some ideas, all of these for your stories? So I have 5 key areas. I mean, you could work up to doing working these into your schedule, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So I wanted to cover these 5 different areas. Okay, on to number 4. We have hosting a mini training. So this is getting into the video realm and getting on video, getting on camera, and it can be really short. So like in Instagram Live, your videos actually have to be less than a minute, or Instagram cuts you off and tells you it's too long. So you can upload a video that you pre-recorded if you're not quite comfortable with going live, or you could go live and maybe you set a weekly time and you do this mini training once a week at the same time. And part of these stories too is like when people start to see you showing up consistently, and maybe you're doing this mini training at the same time every week or the same day. But when you do it at the same time, same day, people start to expect that and know that, and they'll start to rely on you, and they'll look forward to your mini training video or live. So that's one idea to do, is to do a mini training on any part of your working with your clients. How to prepare your house to sell, how to approach an inspection, what to look for when you go on a showing, on and on and on. So many questions that we get, and you just go into a short video, and people just hearing you and your tonality, they can get a sense, again, not just from pictures and scripts, but actually hearing your voice. That can help too with them getting to that point of feeling comfortable or remembering you. Okay, it's all about the memorable stories. And when you're on video, and maybe some other realtors that they might follow are not on video, that might make you stand apart and be more memorable. Okay, all right. So that's number 4. And when we get down here, I'm going to ask you, when we get done to the end, which one of these 5 items, one of them are you going to implement this week? Okay. So the 5th one is sharing a result or a testimonial. And this could be, any testimonial. Maybe you get something on the websites, Zillow or your Facebook page. Maybe it's just a comment in a message that you send out that someone, one of your clients is really excited about. So anything like that, what you want to do is get a screen capture, from your phone. Just take the picture of it. And here's the trick. Here's a little trick for you to do to keep track of these. I don't know if you're like me, but I have 50 gazillion photos. Okay, how many do you guys have? But I have so many photos. If I had to scroll through all of them to try and find that screen capture, I would be scrolling for a long time and I would get tired and probably stop. So, there's little albums in your on your phone that you can save your phone, these screen captures too. So don't forget to do that. Take the screen capture, but then put it in the album. Call it social proof or testimonials, so that the day that you want to post that, it doesn't for that day. Save it for future. Maybe have a bunch that come up at once. You can spread them out, okay, and have them saved in that testimonial folder. So the other thing you want to do with those two eventually too is put them into like your marketing packets that you print out or on your website. So having those all in one place that you can go and find when you do those updates as well. Okay, got a question. Let me check in with Anne and see what her question is. Let's see. You have an Instagram account for real estate and a personal account. Where should I post? I know one follows my business Instagram or business Facebook page, but isn't there. Where should I put? I feel if I want to be seen, it would be best, my personal pages. Okay, Anne. So here is my thought on this. And it might not be the most popular idea, but this is the truth. I would suggest on Instagram to have one account. Okay? Because here's the deal with Facebook. Facebook's a little bit different because you have your business page, which is more professional, and then and it's also designed for Facebook ads to really get any visibility. Facebook personal page, you can put personal things on there, and you can put some business too. The terms of agreement says that it's for personal use, right? That we're just promoting your business. But when you mix it up a little bit on your Facebook, that it shouldn't be a problem. The thing with the Instagram having 2 separate accounts is that you're kind of first of all, it's double work. It's a lot of extra work to maintain 2 accounts, your business one and your personal. But people want to see the people that are following you on your real estate one will also be interested to see your personal things in your personal life as well. So that's what comes back to for you as part of Instagram being relatable and having that know, like, and trust factor. When you put in those personal things on your Instagram account, you can weave those in to your one Instagram account. So that is best practice. That is promoted by a lot of social media, and especially with real estate and trainers in this realm. So the other piece of it too, that one way you could do this when you have one account is you do your business posts. You can do some personal posts too, and you can weave in. Sometimes you can weave in the real estate into the story. Sometimes you don't, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be all real estate. It can be real estate and personal. And a lot of the personal aspects you can put in your stories. Okay, so the stories I talked about today were business suggestions, and I'm going to get to a moment too, and how you can weave in your personal items as well. So those can go into your stories. all the time. I'm putting personal stuff in my stories almost every day on my, I call it my business slash personal, my real estate business slash personal Instagram account. So that is what I really would encourage you to do, because people want to see you, not just real estate. Okay, they want to see you. What are you like in real life? What's it like to be around you, work with you? So I hope that makes sense, Anne, and it might not be exactly what the answer you were hoping for. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, that it's really a lot of work to maintain two Instagram accounts. And I think you would be better served to have just one and appeal to those people, because the people, think of it this way, the people that are on your personal account that are following you there, wouldn't you like them to see the information about your business once in a while? And so that they can remember you as well when it comes time for them to think about real estate. Let's see. Business Instagram, Facebook business page, business where I should post. The thing with the Facebook business page is that, as I said before, and I say it one more time, is that Facebook designed the business page to get the most reach with ads. You will get some very minimal 1% reach, which is really low with your posts when you do with organic posts. Without doing any ads, you'll get very minimal reach. So a lot of people don't understand why they don't get any likes or comments on their Facebook business pages, because Facebook doesn't push it out there at a high rate, because they want to get ad revenue from you to promote your business on there. So that's the deal with the Facebook business page. And I hope that makes sense for the Instagram portion. Let me know what you think if you're gonna make the move. I coached another client recently, and she decided to make the switch to just the one. Went from 2 to 1 on the Instagram. Okay, so the last one I was talking about was sharing a result or testimonial, more social proof. What it's like to work with you. What was it that those people said about you that you're sharing in the in your sharing about your business, what it's like to work with you. So share that information, even if it's just you typing up a small section of the quote. The other thing I'll say is, whatever you post, you want to make it easily consumable. Okay, lots and lots of text doesn't work. Long text typing, people go through those stories pretty quick, so you want a short snippet. If you're putting a testimonial out there, take just a small piece of it and really highlight it. Maybe you have the whole quote, but you just put like highlighter over the section that's like really that you want to point out and share to people. Okay, so here we go. Which ones are you guys going to do this week, or which one did you like the best? Number 1 was the HGTV effect, behind the scenes. I'm going to show what it's like behind the scenes with you. Or number 2, showing that you're in demand. How are you showing up for people and providing service to them? That people are asking for your freebie, or you have buyer consultations and openings available. How are you showing up in that people are requesting your services? How are you going to demonstrate that you are working towards becoming a better agent with your training that you're doing? How are you going to show that on a weekly basis, doing a mini training, going live on the gram, okay, or record a video? Are you going to go in recording yourself? Or number 5, sharing a result or testimonial. Okay, let me hear from you guys. What do you think? What do you want to do? Anyone? Okay. So I'll wait for those to come in. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay on the comments from when I say it. And those of you watching the replay, I'd love to hear from you too. And engaging here, I know that this is prime time, and we probably have a lot of people that are they're out doing showings right now, writing up offers, negotiating offers. So I get it if you're coming on to watch the replay later, but I still want to hear from you. Okay, so here's the deal. You want to a day in the life. Perfect, Anne. Can't wait to see it. So here's what you do. You cycle through these, okay? Now, ideally, you might be able to get up to one of these per day, but at least start out, pick one and start with that and do that every single week and then work up to it, okay? The other thing with stories is that you want to be able to get in the habit of doing them every single day. Day in the life, what it's like. Good, Laura. What it's like to work with you. So when I get up in the habit of doing these stories every day, so you know where the stories show up? They're at the top of Instagram. So people, that's where their eye goes first. And when you're up there consistently, you're showing up in front of people and getting into that top of mind share spot in their brain as well. Okay, so that is that's what you want to be working towards is every day. I'm curious from those of you that are watching today, how often are you posting? Are you posting every day? Do you always have a story that's active? Or are you coming, what is it? What are you coming on? Doing a post once a week, doing a story almost every day? Share. I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing? What are you struggling with your stories? That helps me understand too. As I continue to come up with content to train and teach you here, I'd love to hear where you're struggling with it. So I hope you're learning something here. I got a couple more things that I want to go over. There's so much with stories. And let's see. We have, okay, do you know how many people watch stories every single day? Every day on Instagram? 500 million. Okay, we don't have that many followers, but there are 500 million people. There's a lot of people on Instagram stories every single day. Your followers, your potential clients, they're on Instagram. Okay. All right. Let's see. Iced tea with sweetener in it. Okay, Laura, good. Day in the life. Okay, so here's the deal. You want to look at, once you get to the point where you're planning content on your for your posts, you want to also go to your stories and talk about that even more in your stories. And you can do like share your post to your stories, so that when people click on your story, they go to your post, and maybe you talk about it some more. Maybe you do a video about it and go deep into that, or show a video about something in your post. So relating, what you're doing in your posts into your stories as well is another key strategy to get people to come down to your posts. Okay. Let's see. So the other thing that you want to look at doing like daily is, tying in again your personal life is something that you do consistently. And this kind of goes to your brand. And what's your brand? Your brand is you, and you're unique, and that's how you can demonstrate differentiate yourself from all the other realtors out there, because there's no one else like you. So you want to show in your stories something about your day every single day. I like to do a lot about coffee. Sometimes I'll take pictures of my coffee mug, my French press, my new beans I got, coffee shops that I used to go to a lot, like that. So that's a theme that people see a lot in my stories. And sometimes when I get stickers, I'll get likes on that. My dogs. Okay, animals are very popular in your stories. So that's maybe that you maybe have animals, maybe you don't. Whatever it is that you like to do in your life, maybe you like to go on bike rides, maybe you like to go for walks, taking a picture on your walk. Whatever you do, like those little things that are you in your life, capture those in your stories, and people get a feel for you and what it's like to work with you. So here's the deal: when people reach out to you, they don't know you really well, but if they've been following you in your stories, they feel like they know you, and it's so much easier to work with people that feel that trust. When they know you, they feel like they can trust you, and that goes a long way throughout the whole transaction. Right? You guys with me on that? Those of you that have been in the business for a while, know those people that are, and sometimes there's just those people that are just a little skeptical. And I think if they saw that personal side of you, they maybe they would be that way. Okay, you guys. Let's see. So the other things too that are fun to do, like not only that, but like maybe if you're like a big Target, you look at a Target, you find good deals at Target, maybe you get your Target finds that you do, or the fun stuff that's at Target. They have some really cool decor nowadays. Maybe highlight that if that's something that you like to do. If you're at Trader Joe's, you love shopping at Trader Joe's. Maybe you bring that home and you show that one. So whatever it is that you're kind of you in your life, highlight that in your stories. People love it. Okay, so just weave that in. Okay, so here's the next step with your stories is the stickers. Because when people interact on your stories and you have stickers on there, here's the stickers to use. A couple of the big ones that people use. These are the ones that people can tap on and engage with your post. There's the poll, asking the question. There's the two options, and you can personalize those two options. Ask a question about your whatever you posted. There's the emoji slider where it has the smile face, and you can slide it over. I get a lot of engagement on that sometimes. And then there's a new one that's out there. DM me. So if you are posting something that maybe you're putting a question out there or training on something, and you want people to DM you, message you with questions or more information or sign up for something, use that sticker to send you the DM. Okay, so key. When Instagram, here's the point to these stickers that people interact with. When people interact with your stickers on your posts, Instagram can see that that person likes your content, and Instagram will show your content more to them. You should notice this in your own feed. You probably see the same stories showing up consistently if you're looking at them, if you're scrolling through them. Instagram can see when you go through them as well. If you go through your insights, you can see who looked at your stories. So when people are doing that to you, your story will show up more consistently for them. Okay, so you want, when they're going through your stories, when they're interacting, even more so, then that's part of the algorithm. Okay, so you want to get people interacting with your stuff. So first step is great, posting a picture, putting some text on there, getting the stickers. Okay, that ups you in their feed. On the flip side of that is you going out and engaging with your followers, with your ideal audience. Okay, who are the people that are your potential clients, and finding them in your followers and seeking them out and interacting with their stories and their posts And when people see you interacting with them on their stories, they're going to come back and look at yours and probably interact with you. And then that will put you up higher in the Instagram algorithm. Okay? Did you get all that? Does that make sense? I know it's kind of a little, I don't know. Try to go slow to explain that. That's a key part of the algorithm is that people are interacting on your stickers, on your stories, and then you're going up to theirs so that you're interacting on theirs and hopefully they're coming back to you too. So you do the same thing, I'm sure. You see people interacting on yours and you're like, oh, what about that person? And do you ever go over to their story? Check them out? Okay, goes both ways. People do the same thing to you. And then you have the lurkers. You have the lurkers. So you can see who's watching your stories and you can see the people that are consistently coming. I have a few people that watch my stories all the time and I'm not quite sure why, to be perfectly honest. So, could send them a message. Just check in with them and say, hey, how's it going? All right. If you get someone who's consistently watching your stories, you don't have to say, hey, I saw you watching your story. They might think that's a little creepy, but you could just message them and say hi. Okay. We're getting, this has been a long one today because there's so much to go over stories. There's even more. But let me know, those of you watching the replay, you're still here. Let me know what you're going to be doing on your stories. Okay, share it here, and there's so much more. So I wanted to share with you guys, tell you a little bit about, and I'll be having more information posted shortly about my Instagram bootcamp that I'll be launching on July, the date right, July 6th. And it's 6 weeks of training and one-on-one coaching in a Zoom room with all of you to talk about Instagram. It's called Be Visible Instagram Bootcamp and Mastering Your Social Media Effectiveness on Instagram. We're going to be talking about finding and connecting to your ideal audience. I mentioned that today. Who's your ideal audience? How do you find them? How do you connect with them? We're going to dig into that. The second week is branding, messaging, and copywriting. And how do you do that well so that you can connect with your audience? The third week is creating content that gets massive visibility. How do you get those posts that go viral, that have like reach that like you've never had before? We'll go into that. I've had viral posts that have had massive reach, and so I really studied how to do that and capture that. We'll go into that. And then week 4 is stepping up your Instagram stories. We covered a lot today, but there's even more to cover on Instagram stories and really digging deep and having that kind of that template, that process that you can consistently follow. And then connecting and selling in the DMs. Yes, you can make sales like appointments, connections in your messenger, in your direct messages. It's so much easier on Instagram. It's so fun. And then the 6th week is the virtual and video session and really mastering video to make those connections. So send me a message, leave me a comment below if you'd like to find out more about the Be Visible Bootcamp. Give me a bootcamp message and I'll get the registration page shortly. But I'd love to have you in there. And this is a paid course and I'll have the registration information up shortly on that. Don't make it take too long on this video today. But the cost for this, it will be repaid multiple times over from things that you learn when you implement them consistently on your Instagram. You will be getting business and like you've never had before. And I've had it myself. I've had huge success with my social media, and I love sharing that with you guys. And I really want to dive deep with a small group of people that want to learn how to do this in specifically we're going to focus on Instagram this time. So love to learn that, go over that with all of you and really teach you how to master your Instagram to get business consistently. Okay, you guys. All right, so that's what we're wrapping up today on the on your Instagram stories. From stories to souls really is possible. And let me know what you're gonna do next week out of those 5 different ones. Which one are you going to start with? And let me know if you're interested in the boot camp. I'll get the details out to you. Have a great week.